1-3, the police are requesting an ambulance to detail man screaming for one. Inside the Irish Social Club at number 19 Park Street, West Rock Street.
Hello everyone, I'm back. Also, apologies for the wrong category there for a second. I made a slight fuck up on my part. But it's finally Thursday, everybody. Do you know what that means? Well, I had it as Warhammer. Yeah, I had it as Warhammer for a bit. I'd only noticed on Twitch that I had it as Warhammer. So I had to quickly change it before I started. Do you mean it's Thursday? It's Yap Day. It do be Yapper Day. Be the holy day of the Yapper. Tomorrow's Warhammer though. There'll be much Warhammer. You could say, in fact, there will be blood shed. Something. The man in the mirror nods his head. If anyone gets that Metal Gear Rising reference, there you go. There you go. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I just realised. Let me flick my Streamlabs one to a multi-stream. There we go. It's working. Hopefully it's working in the multi-stream chat. Yeah, Thursday's the day where... Yes, is the way where I just come home and complain about his week to us. I mean, you're welcome to complain about your week to me if you like. Arbold has a corn dog mount. That's technically not wrong me saying that either. It is literally a hound of corn. But it'd be cool if he did have a... there's an old model that they made in resin that was fucking massive. That was a character riding a cornate dragon. That was a thing. I need to find it now. Hang on, I need to find it. Yes, here we go. I found this. I found it. 1 second. Sorry, my voice is still fucked. Put you guys up there. Actually, no, I'll put you guys both here. I'll post it in the Discord. Actually, with the right chat. Be a good start, wouldn't it? Yes, there is a fella called Volgruff the Scarred. That's it, Volgruff the Scarred. And the model is absolutely insane. The model is insane. I call it miniature in quotation marks because it's fucking massive. But sadly, that's not his mount. Arbold has a big old doggo. Yeah, that... So, Tamakan had a model as well, by the way. That was also massive. If you look up the model for Tamakan, it's fucking nuts. Again, I hesitate to call that thing a miniature. It was so big. It had, like, a base for each foot. He would be if that thing wasn't chaos corrupted as fuck. That, I think, was one of the last dragons they ever released for Fantasy. I don't know if you guys have seen... I think I probably posted about them a bunch, but they've released some white dragons, like undead dragons that are white, into Age of Sigmar. And I have to say, if that's the kind of style of dragons they're going to go with... We've seen a few other dragons they've done, but if that's the style, I accept that style. Yeah, the older dragons were like snake-looking. Like, wavy. So the ones we have now in Total War, they're actually a bit of a deviation. They've kind of bulked them out a bit. Because the dragons we had back in Fantasy, the models for them, they're like snake-like. They're not quite as bulky. But no, so Arbold was only given a very big, I think Khorne's personal hound, specifically, is what he was given. As his title, being the Destroyer of Khorne. Plump, yes, plump. Thick, some might say. We do like them extra thick in these parts. Oh yes. I want a dragon extra thick. I haven't played an Imrit campaign in a long time. I probably should, shouldn't I? You've got me thinking now. After I play some Shogun 2. I'm trying to think who I've not played on stream. I know for a fact I've not played High Elves at all on stream. Like Miao Ying. Fair, fair. Listen, those dragon-blooded came from somewhere, that's all I'm saying. Someone smashed or was smashed by one of those dragon siblings, okay? Someone did it. That's all I'm saying. Those dragon-blooded come somewhere. And I think the Celestial Generals, I want to say, also technically descended from the dragons. Okay, real question, by the way. Does anyone actually use the Magistrates, except for caravans? Like, does anyone use Magistrates? I have no idea. Ah, yes, that one. Yes, there's also the Slaanesh Corruption one, too. But, yeah, no. There do be some, very nice alterations. Some mods. I am curious, actually, what the next Cafe DLC will be. Because there will be one. Yes, Cafe and Cannons. Mighty indeed. Very, very large. They are the largest nation, after all. You wouldn't think that from the fucking map they have access to, but they are supposed to be the largest human nation, by the way. Again, you wouldn't believe it. How little space they actually have. Speaking of Total War, I'm gonna try my best to edit up that Skulltaker video I've been working on for a little bit now. I've been doing it in bits, but I'm gonna try tomorrow, because I'm off tomorrow, to edit that up. I want to see if I can have it out for like next week or something if I can. I've also got a pretty big thing happening. My Session 0. It's come around already, incredibly. And for any of my players that might have snuck into the chat, or watching the VOD right now, I'm not saying a damn thing, or Session 0. So, I mentioned that in a second, actually. Oh, that's just your question there, Balls. So to answer your question, Balls, I'm not sure. Part of me thinks I shouldn't, but part of me kind of thinks maybe I should. What do you guys think? Are you sick of the? Are you sick of the backdrop? Do you want something new? I'll tell you what. How about this, chat? I will show you the design on Discord, and then if you think, hey, this element, but that is just because I can't imagine a different one. To be fair, half of my assets I couldn't imagine beforehand anyway. I had a rough idea, but like this design you're looking at now, I assure you, when I said to Nabs, hey, can you make this? They're like, yeah, sure. I had no idea how it was going to come out. So, no, I understand that feeling. And then, Artemis, to answer your question, so, excuse me, a Session 0, so you know how I'm going to do a Dark Heresy campaign on stream, so you guys are going to be able to see it. That'll be on Saturdays when I start doing that, because I will need the time for that. It won't be a weekly thing, it'll be a bi-weekly thing. Because I need time to plan. There might also be gaps here and there due to availability or just I need more time to plan. So just bear that in mind. But so it won't be a every week kind of thing, but I'll make sure I might try and faff around making a role or something for anyone who's very particularly interested in that stuff. And then I want to try and make sort of follow-up videos talking about the session on one of my channels. I think I might make a new channel for the review. Should totally make a chat NPC. I mean, I am tempted to give you guys a little bit of a say in what happens. I'm not sure how I want to do it though. And I want to talk it over with the players first, in case they say, actually, we'd rather you not. But, yeah. But that'll be happening this Saturday, so I'm going to do a session 0. That'll be about an hour and a half before I play Space Marine 2. I might see if I can't get some people to join me for Space Marine 2. If I can't, or if the space is free, perhaps some of you lovely lot might want to join me. There's been an update recently. We have new toys. Well, we have new enemies and some new skins. Yes. Hey, perfect. Yes, so there's been an update. Also, God, Monster Hunter Wilds. Oh, Monster Hunter Wilds is so close as well. Oh, I need it. The more I look at Monster Hunter Wilds, chat, I need that shit injected into my fucking veins immediately. My computer's too weak to run it. Oof. Also, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Yes, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Indeed is out. I did forget about that. Hey, Judas, buddy. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. But yes. So, as I say, when I show you guys the design from the I'll call it 3.0 because I will always consider the Wolf Me 1.0. And 3.0 is kind of a combination of this version and that version. Oh, you get a Krieger box, nice. Oh, did you get the new? Oh, did you get the one with the new Death Riders in? Bean is what? Oh, yes, Bean is 0.5. With the Death Riders, yes, that's good. The Death Riders are good. Honestly, I still need to. I still have the kill team for Death Corps. I need to finish building, but I've started doing a bit of recycling, chat, because, and to be fairness to the Games Workshop, this was a good idea. I started using old sprues to make like wooden panels and trenches and stuff. I thought it was a cool idea, so I went with it. So I'm gonna try and mix a bit of my stuff with that. Oh, the riders are pretty strong. Yes. Yeah, no worries, Judas. No problem at all. Yeah, it does look pretty good. A lot of people were quite shocked how the horses looked, and it's like, yeah, they're not normal horses. Unironically, by the way, just for a lore thing that you might make them think even cooler. The mounts the Death Riders have can take bolt gunfire and live. No, seriously, they've taken heavy bolter fire and actually survived it for a bit. They're entirely artificial. The Mechanicus made them. And they're literally biomechanical freaks. Like, they have integrated life support systems. They are immune to most small arms fire. Well, not immune, but they're resilient to most small arms fire. And then also, if you shoot, even the bolt gun, like I said, a bolt gun doesn't kill them. That named character they've now got has had his horse repaired multiple times. To be fair, if you look at what they're using, right, so Death Riders typically have melter bomb tipped lances. A melter bomb will fucking kill a Space Marine. Categorically. Their lasguns won't do deadly dick to them, although if any lasgun was going to hurt a Space Marine, the Lucius pattern would be the one, because it has a higher penetration. It's just slower firing. If you've played Dark Tide, the Lucius pattern has the bayonet, and you can hold it down to charge. That's the Lucius pattern. It's slow, but imagine like 600 guys firing that thing at like 20 Marines. It actually would do a little bit more damage than a regular lasgun, at the cost of rate of fire. Don't get me wrong, if your Space Marine got into melee with them, it'd tear them apart, but Kriegers are lunatics and would happily get 2 grenades and jump on the Marine and fucking kamikaze themselves. They literally have a cult of sacrifice, I promise you. They would happily do that shit. Also, Death Riders are fucking nuts. Okay, so there's a bit in the Siege of Rax where they get countercharged by a fucking Baneblade and multiple heavy tanks. Fucking 100+ Death Riders roll up on a Baneblade and decide, fuck it, we ball, and charged it. They charged it. Lances down. Actual lunatics. With any riders, I can think that... Honestly, yeah. On the charge, at least. They aren't bad. They are not bad. Speaking of models, I need to stop looking at the Soulblight Gravelords, because holy shit, the new skeletons, they look so good. I keep thinking about taking the White King, the new one they're making, and figuring out a way to convert that to fit on the fucking White Dragon. I shouldn't do that because it's an expensive fucking thing to do, but oh, it'd look good. I feel like it'd look pretty good. Go with essentially the army would be themed around a White King killing a Vampire Lord and taking over the army entirely. I'd have like converted Blood Knights that are actually skeletons. Basically, he just fucking filleted anything with skin on it. Bones only. Might be a scrawny necromancer who keeps around for shits and giggles. Don't know. Tempted though. Tempted. Be fun. Plus that dragon just looks so good. It's a lot bigger than the old zombie dragon though. I've got the old zombie dragon. Holy shit, I think it's big. The wings are huge on it. But yeah. But as for Vichu model-wise, you do like I mean, I do. You can also drag on these nuts. Hey, Drunk Dwarf. Welcome, buddy. Long time no see. How are things? I feel like last time I saw... When was the last time I saw you in chat, my friend? Holy shit. I'll ask him over, balls. Ask him over. Oh, excuse me. Been 84. It has been a while. I think I was... I want to say I remember this because... It was okay. Oh, they're alright, man. I mean, I'm a little sick, as you can probably hear. My voice sounds like I've been gargling rocks, but, you know, other than that little problem, it's not too bad. I feel like the last time I saw you in chat, I was playing Monster Hunter World, and I think I was fighting, who was it now? Sharish Volder, that's it, yeah. I remember specifically because you mentioned the game room you're making that was going to cost you an arm and a leg. Literally. I very specifically remember that. But no, good to see you, buddy, good to see you. Oh, I think did I have this model then? I'm trying to think if I even had this model. It was a while back. God's my memory sometimes. I will see a thing and it's just whoosh. I'm back in that fucking moment, for better or worse. But yeah, so I'll let you guys see the design for it, obviously, in Discord. And then if you think, hey, maybe you want to do this or that to better match it, let me know. I'm very likely to go with the person, because the guy who did the design can also do the art for me. I don't know about you, but I feel like that's a good idea. Because to me, anyway, the person who did the design, doing the art, means that they know what they intended for in various bits of the design. Now, I can ask for some add-ons, by the way. For example, I can ask for a pet to be done for a bit of an extra cost. So chat, my question to you, and I will do this if you want it, do you want the Cobral Bean? This is a very honest question. Do you want me to ask him to add the Cobral Bean? Okay. Okay. It's a good thing I have money saved up for this, holy shit. Don't ever say I don't do anything for you guys. Don't ever say I don't do anything for you guys. I think it's an extra $300 for the privilege. There's also... I'm tempted to maybe get an extra outfit with it as well. Tempted. Oh. Indeed. Very tempted. To be fair, a good thing with the design that he's done, by the way, and because of the nature of the new model, there's actually a good base that all the outfits can go on now. Because new me's a lot more artificial. So, for example, you probably might have noticed that there's sort of like a bit of an undersuit on the model. So that layer fits nicely under various outfit ideas I have, so... But they're not made. Although, speaking of outfits, you guys a while back asked... When I asked you guys what outfit you wanted me to do before, you did ask for a nun outfit. Now chat. That's for this model, and Fox's, the same lady who did this model, is currently in the process of doing that outfit for me now. So, I have a sketch, and you know what I found really interesting, by the way? A real fun little bit, which I thought was actually pretty cool. Both designs made the hip wings more like actual wings. So you know like how, if I just rotate myself up a little bit... See like how I've got my hip wings here? Well... The two new, the 3.0 and the outfit, the wings are a bit more extended and more like actual wings. And I found it really interesting that both artists did that. I'm trying to find an image of the bean to make the name of it. Well, what? The hands said. Trying to find a image of the bean to make a meme of it with the hands. Ah, yes. Do you want an image of Blob? Because it's just the model's just Blob. 1 second. 1 second. Do you want the bean? 1 sec. I'll get you the bean. Hang on. Hang on a second. There we go. Bean. There you go. Good image. There you go. Image acquired. There we go. Actually, 1 second. I can do one better. Give me 1 second. 1 second, Judas. I can do better. I can give you better.
Am I alive yet?
There we go. 1 sec. And I'll just switch back to my normal self. You might be asking, Cobra, what were you doing just then? And the answer is simple. I was making a backgroundless screenshot for you, so that you had that to use rather than trying to crop it. Because Cobra is very nice and kind and loving and not malicious or cruel in any way. 1 second. There you go. No worries, Bruce, in the mid. There you go. I put it in media share. I want to see all that. How dare... After all I do for you guys. Do you know how much extra I'm going to have to spend on the bet as well? But yeah, we're going to have... It's going to be good. Now, admittedly, I am going to have to find someone to rig the model because the person doing the design does art, but not rigging. But they do know riggers, apparently, so I can ask them about that. But I may involve you guys a little bit in that process, because obviously the rig is quite a big part of it. Because, and you'll see it a lot, right? A good example, okay. Have you ever noticed a lot of agency VTubers have really nice art, but not all of them have like the nicest, like smooth rigs? The rigs can matter a lot, actually. I think as time's gone on, I think the quality of the rig has become a little more wanted, if anything. So I do want to make sure it's a good rig. Especially with all the stuff I want on this model. So I wouldn't say that I focus on the arms much. To be fair, my arms currently, the only thing they'll do is this if I want to. That's true. Nowadays, a lot of them do, but there was quite often the case where the model was focused on, but the rig wasn't. A good example of this, actually, look at some Niji Sanji VTubers. Now, you could argue that's because it's Niji, but also some of the rigs are very stiff, like really stiff. Now, I don't know if that's just lack of puppeteering, or if that's the rig stiff. Because I know they're not using webcams, they're using iPhones, but the rigs looks quite stiff on some of them. A lot of them have been upgraded later on, but their earlier models were definitely a lot stiffer rigged. So I don't want something too stiff. I do want a bit of bounce to the rig. A bit of bounce is always good. You gotta have a good balance of bounce. So I do want something nice for that. Oh, speaking of things, obviously, you may remember I had a jacket in my old me did. New me has a jacket too. If any of you saw the last tease image I left of the design, I have a jacket. I wanted the over-the-shoulders jacket thing because I'm a fucking obsessed person when it comes to that kind of thing. I don't know why I like it so much, I just do. So, we have a jacket. Because Kerbal likes his over-shoulder jacket. It's impractical as fuck, but I love it. Exactly. Exactly. Has some studs on it, too. It's a little bit ripped up in places, you know, it looks a bit more worn out. I kinda like it. It accidentally works nicely with lore, by the way. I can just say it was my old life jacket before I was rebuilt. So it works with lore, accidentally, which I love. That and objectively, new me is a mix of old me and this me, so that works nicely. Also, my hair's going white again, because why not? He was like, do you want to go with the same, like, black-brown again, or do you want to have, like, white? I was like, I want to go with the white again. Nod to old me. But yeah, I'm hoping to have that soon. I should have it by the 8th at the latest. Becoming old. What do you mean? It's a little bit of old, a bit of new. Also, you can actually see both my eyes that time. Rather than the current state of affairs, which is You definitely can't see it. There is a second eye under this, by the way. And when I get the new outfit, I can prove it to you because I have a different haircut in that outfit. I have a different haircut in that outfit. So you actually see both eyes. It was actually kind of strange, because I know there's 2 eyes under this. Like, it was built and rigged with the intention that if I wanted to get any changes or add-ons to it later, I could do so. But it's always funny when I look at this model, because I'm so used to only seeing 1 eye. And all my art covers 1 eye. So it's going to be very weird. But new me, you see both eyes. See, the important thing for me was when I was getting that one done, I didn't want it to be unrecognizable. Because obviously, like, the face is a big one. It's like, Kazrak, what? He took my fucking eye. Yeah, but unlike Kazrak, I don't have a permanent bleeding wound in one side of my face. No, seriously, Kazrak's like eye hole was always bleeding. Permanent bleed. Like, I can't remember what he was. I'm trying to think now. I think he was hit by a rune fang, so he's permanently bleeding. Like, seriously, those rune fangs, you know, the ones like you can get and give to your Empire generals and stuff, right? Those rune fangs, they're no joke. Gorbad Ironclaw literally had to stop his entire war over the fact that some guy literally cut him and the wound wouldn't heal. He could not heal from it. Obviously, if someone's hit like fucking Galmaraz, that's a different story. That fucker's dead. But he's not. He always not like. Yeah, it was like right now. I mean, that's true. Trying to sack Reichland every few turns is risky, especially later on. Except when apparently the Empire just gets fucking destroyed by Skaven, by the way. That was kind of wild to me. The idea that the Skaven... Remember my last campaign, the fucking Skaven literally wiped out the Empire by the time I got there, because I took so long. That was still wild to me, how that campaign ended. I've never had a campaign just accidentally end. So, that was the whole thing. I always found that wild. Holy shit. Now, I don't know how many of you were there for the Arbold one, but that one's going well so far. I'll be continuing that on Friday. But so far, I've had decently low casualty rates. Although we did have a slight hiccup when I forgot that legendary difficulty ups, well, legendary and very hard ups the fucking AI's combat prowess significantly. So I was dealing with Kislev dervishes, and they kind of hit like a truck. However, the only loss was 2 units of Fleshhounds of Khorne. Nearly lost the Skull Crushers to a combination of dervishes and Akshina ambushes, mind. And Arbold got a little closer than I'd like to death. But other than that, it was all alright. To be fair, he can become a bit of a world ender anyway, so there is that. Although, I'm hoping at some point they upgrade our fucking Build-A-Bear Demon Prince. Have any of you played the Demon Prince recently, by the way? I'm very curious, because I know I haven't touched him since I played... I think I played him a little bit after the Intel sponsored thing, where you can do those Trials of Zinj. Well, Mirrors of Madness, that's it. Mirrors of Madness. And you can just do like insane shit. But it was guaranteed to run you fucking toasty. Like, it was intentionally there to run you toasty. Like, your components would definitely be used. It's a good thing at the time, and still now, I have a 12th generation Intel, not a 13th or 14th gen. I think that's fixed, by the way, so you are safe to use them now, as far as I'm aware. But, yeah, that was fucked. That was fucked, that whole thing. I mean, by all means, if you think AMD is your go-to now, fair enough. Yes, it should be fixed by now. I mean, they should have fixed that at manufacturing. That was bad. Like, here's the thing. If anyone thinks, hey, I want to go AMD now because Intel should have fixed that sooner, agreed. And honestly, I would not blame anyone doing so. I've been tempted myself, but it would mean a new motherboard, which is annoying. I'm a little lazy sometimes. But my 12th gen i9's doing just fine, so I'm not too worried. AMD is superior anyways for price performance unless you want full high power. That's true. That's true. Graphics cards, they're not far behind either. Like, the 50 series is released now and they're pretty fucking meaty. But I will say for the amount you pay for an Nvidia graphics card, AMD is not too far behind. Oh yeah, I have a 4070 Ti myself, so I'm good for a while too. Like, I'm not worried. Not at all. Yeah, it's like a half decent motherboard's anywhere from £200 to £400. CPU is, oof. Yeah, CPU's a lot. Let me have a look, actually. Oh, AMD. Yeah, I don't blame AMD for not bothering to try, because it's a lot, right? It's a lot to fight. And Nvidia, although, I will say, Nvidia lost they lost so much in value, it would have killed other companies. Because of, I think, the China AI basically devalued the fuck out of Nvidia, because obviously, that AI made all the American companies look shit in the stock market. So they did get a big blow, but I don't blame Nvidia. Nvidia. It's finally taking the meme. Oh no! Say it isn't so. Let me look at this meme real quick before I quickly look up something. Ah. Why do we have hands? There are many reasons. Pat the bean. Cherish the bean. The bean, yes. Hold the bean. Fulfill multiple possessions to the bean. I think, isn't it just... Isn't bean just B-E-E-N? But... Oh, cherish. Ah, you know, I see it. Yeah, I wouldn't have spotted it, buddy, don't worry. My dyslexic ass ain't spotting it. What is genuinely? What is the cost of the latest Intel right now? I'm actually kind of curious. What are we looking at? Holy 549 quid alone for an i9. That's for the Raptor Lake. The Reaper Lake refresh is on offer in this one place, but holy. Yeah, that's big boy numbers, fellas. Holy shit. Like, it's about like nearly 600, it's like 500 and something pounds for the CPU. God, that's either you got a really good deal or that's a bit of an older model. But I mean, to be fair, I don't know about you, I've very rarely had to upgrade a CPU. Ah, there's AMD. That would explain it. It's AMD, so they've actually reasonably priced it. One thing I do like about the AMD CPUs, they give you a nice big cooler. My Ryzen 7 had a big fucking fan cooler. Like, you just kind of like hang on to the side. It looked crazy, but it worked. Ooh, that's good. Wow, that's a good warranty, man. Then again, I paid for extra warranty on mine. I'll be honest, I know it costs extra money, but I always pay for the extra warranty. My chair, for example, right? One of the arm guards kind of started falling apart. So I went to them and was like, hey, the arm guard fell apart here, guys. What's going on? They're like, oh, sorry, can you send us pictures? Yeah, sure. Great, we'll send you a new one. And sent me a new one. I mean, it does suck that it broke down. However, 4 days before it ended. So you got your 2 years out of it. And you got to still go, hey, it's in warranty, shouldn't have broke. I think that's fair. I mean, sometimes things can just happen. Like, if I had any PC that had a hard drive in it, unironically, I would either dramatically, very quickly look to replace that, or I would put a fucking big warranty on it. Because fuck me, hard drives. Oh, terrify me. Judas being very good at handling it. However, Ball's got some plans to see. Hey, 2.5k back's nothing small, man. I mean, that'll get you a nice PC now. A nice laptop. Or hey, if you don't want to get them, you've got 2.5k. Plus PCs, if something breaks, you can just... That's true. Give me a few tens by skin. See, it's the reason I can't justify a console anymore. It's like, I enjoy the freedom too much. If I decide I want my game to look nicer, I will get the hardware to make it look nicer. Good desktop tip. Honestly, that makes sense. Like, the laptops are nice, and there are some good, powerful laptops now, but I'll be honest, I just prefer a desktop. Because laptops, they fucking solder half of it in. And it's such a pain in the dick just to get anything changed on them. Exactly. They'll upgrading it if it breaks just tend to be... Yeah, I mean... At the very least, like a Windows laptop is not as bad as well. Granted, some of them are soldered. Oh god. Put it this way. Have you seen... Do any of you watch Seth Zintash? If any of you do, you'll know about his laptop, which you can't put on your lap because it will actually give you third-degree burns. Man unironically cooked an egg on the back of his laptop because of how hot it was fucking going. Ooh, yeah, no. No. I use a Lenovo for work, right? And sometimes we've had them just fucking freak out. And holy shit, the fans. I genuinely thought it was going to take off. Yeah, I mean... Did you see that one, oh, what's it called? Razer did. Have you seen the Razer laptop that has a free screen setup built into it? Like, you slide free screens out when you open the laptop up. It was like a one prototype they've done, but that was fucking wacky. Looked like some fucking sci-fi shit you see at like a hacking movie or something. You know those really shitty hacking movies where they just look so fake if you know anything about a computer? Like, holy shit, those hacking movies, man. It's... Oh, God. Speaking of laptops, I'm thinking about going to... it's a storage unit inventory sale to pick up a new laptop for a Linux book. Ooh, nice. Okay. I had my fun running 4 years with my current. Fair. Basic one, just... Fair, honestly. Dust, man, I swear. The one thing you find, like, dust build up and things. Like, it's mad how much dust gets just attracted to a room with a PC in it constantly. I need to at some point grab a new can of like canned air again, actually. Although I do have a air compressor, actually, My dad has, actually, and it might at some point just give my I'm tempted just to, get the Hoover, turn it on, and just blow all the fucking dust into that. Now, the problem, chat, that your dear angel has with dust is, did I mention, when I went to my second trip to the hospital, my checkup, I have a severe allergy to dust mites. Like, really bad. So I do have to be quite careful of dust buildup. Yeah. Dust mites and grass pollen. Although, to be honest with you, I already knew about that. Although they've given me some... So the medication that they were supposed to have on repeat prescription, they never bothered putting it on. Because, as much as I love the NHS for being free, fuck me is it absolutely unorganised. Like, disgustingly. I had to call up and go, hey, the hospital asked for this to be on repeat prescription. And they're like, oh yeah, they did send a letter. Oops, sorry, I'll tell admin. Now, to their credit, they sorted it for me. But still. Bruh. The hospital sends you a letter back in December. December last year. Wait, Rainbow Six Siege 2. There's a Siege 2 now. I am amazed they bothered making a sequel. I thought that was like a live service. I thought there was never going to be another one. Then again, okay, legitimately, did any of you play the old Rainbow Six games before Siege came out? I swear there was like a Rainbow Six game that came out before Siege. I'm sure there were several. Oh look, I swear there was like... I'm sure there's been like games before Rainbow Six. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. I'm sure it's like a Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Like, it's old now. It's a long time ago now. Yeah, I was gonna say. There's an old one, wasn't there? But I'm shocked to see there's a sequel. That surprises me. That genuinely surprises me. What the fuck? I mean, I guess Ubisoft needs their stock to go up. Yeah, Rainbow Six Vegas. Yes, that was the one I remember playing that because this is how long ago it was. I rented that shit from Blockbuster. Remember Blockbuster, folks? Fuckers could have bought Netflix, by the way, at one point. They could have bought Netflix. And fucking Yahoo could have bought Google twice. Yeah, God. Just reminded me, mentioned being a sequel to Rainbow Six Siege. I was like, wait, they've done the Rainbow Six game, haven't they? I was like, oh shit, yeah. God. Have they actually confirmed it? Because I did have a quick look. I didn't see anything confirmed, but have they confirmed a sequel then? I mean, I feel like we should be very mindful, because Ubisoft making this, isn't there? And we have to be very mindful of Ubisoft making anything. Skull and Bones is a good example of when Ubisoft say they're making a quadruple A product. It's a leak, but I'm going to be shocked. I mean, I'd be shocked as well. I feel like it's more likely it's like a big update. Like a huge update. Like how Hunt Showdown's still going. Which... There's a part of me that wants to get back into Hunt Showdown, but I'll be completely honest with you. Hunt Showdown makes my fucking heart rate skyrocket in ways no other game does. God, I guess I'm fucking tense playing that game. But I kinda love it. Because it's so unique. It's a Weird West kind of thing, and I love it. I'm sure one Blockbuster still exists. I think it does, but I barely get. It's not around anywhere near me anymore, but it's more of a museum now as opposed to DVD rental place. Oh, is it? I haven't played it since they did the whole 1896 update. But I used to love it a lot. I wasn't bad at it, actually. I was pretty decent with a Remington. I won some decent firefights with it, put it that way. Me and Onyx played it a little bit. I managed to pull some good clutches. It was very tense. The problem... Now, genuinely, you know how I say I'm arachnophobic? The spider boss in that. Holy shit. I have never, in a video game, had something trigger my arachnophobia. But that boss, everything about it just set me off. In ways I couldn't explain. I couldn't do the tutorial. With that bit in the tutorial where you can go and fight it. I couldn't. It took a lot to... I couldn't do it. I remember me and Onyx went in, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Oh god, yeah, it's an interesting little game, but god, that spider. I won't lie, I remember going in there and just wildly swinging at it with an axe. Like, I'll be honest, there was no strategy for me. I was throwing Molotovs at it, and I was wildly swinging at it with an axe. The worst bit, you hear it, and it's just going... I can't really do it because the mic cut it out, because I actually have fucking gain and shit on this thing, but that tapping and the... Oh, no, I can't, it's not even a real spider, it's a man spider, but it... Like, the closest thing I had to that, the closest experience I had to that, yeah, it does. It runs at like Mach 10. It's oh god. Right, remember the frostbite spiders from Skyrim? Remember them? Remember when you go to Bleak Falls Barrow and that big one fucking descends? That big bastard. Like, that thing scared me a bit when I was younger. But, like, not even close compared to this. Though the one time it did actually shit me up, I think I raised one from the dead, and it glitched, but it looked like it jumped at me, and it fucking shit me up. It was still my zombie at the time, but I was like, nah, I'm killing this thing. Making it dust. I don't want to look at it. It was a giant one as well, so it was, ugh. Yeah, no. No. Do not like those things. But that spider was the only boss I had, like, an issue with. I didn't mind the other bosses. It's a shame what happened with that game, because it was just so unique, and the aesthetics were so cool, and the atmosphere. Oh, the atmosphere. I didn't really play extraction shooters much, I'll be honest. I like my games where I get to progress. But that one was interesting. On a complete side tangent, by the way, I've been itching to find a good shooter. Like, I have that itch every now and then where I want to play a good shooter. And I can't quite find one that I really like at the minute. But I want to find a fun one. I don't know, I used to play a lot of Halo Reach and Call of Duty when I was younger. And every now and then I long for, like, a good shooter. R6 Extraction. Oof. PvE. Honestly, either. Probably PvE more so, but I could maybe think about PvP. Although, it's weird. I used to be a big PvP guy. I used to be all over that shit. Halo, I'd play Halo Reach, I'd play Slayer or SWAT all the time. All the time. Then through like Halo 4 and 5, I just got quite good with a pistol. Honestly, Halo 5, I just used a pistol. I saw no reason to use any other weapon. And I briefly played that game. Ugh. Oh, and Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, that was... I haven't played Halo Infinite in a while. Oh yeah, Deep Rock Galactic. Halo Free Fall Co-op. I mean, we'd have to do it on Legendary difficulty. It'd be funny. I'll tell you a game I really enjoyed, speaking of Halo. I really enjoyed playing ODST. I played ODST a little bit ago. Oh, nice, nice. It's been a while. I've done Halo 3 Legendary a while back. Yeah, ODST was fun. I played that solo, heroic difficulty, on stream. That was back when I had a break because I wasn't doing too hard at the time. But I remember specifically I played that, and even though I was feeling very burned out, I still enjoyed that game. Oh, it's great. ODST is something else. Like, I have to say, that game, I don't know, it did things that other Halos didn't do later. And it's like, why did they not follow this design idea? It just felt, I don't know, it's just the way it felt to play it. It just felt so different. Refreshing. I honestly wish they'd have made more in the ODST line, honestly. Especially how Halo 4 and 5 went, honestly. I'd have liked another ODST game. That's why, like, Helldivers appeals to me a bit, because Helldivers feels like the ODST game I didn't get, but should have had. I remember it took me forever to find the broken slab. Oh god, yeah, I remember that. It was in a weird place, to be fair. Like, it did its storytelling in a unique way, too, that no other Halo does. That kind of, like, hub world, and, oh god, it was good. It was fucking good. Holy shit. Never bothered to look at... Yeah, no, that's fair. I probably missed it a few times. I think. I don't remember now. It was a little bit ago. It's nearly a year ago, I think it was. But... yeah, I was pretty rough at that point, I think. If memory serves. Ironically, I remember it specifically because it was a game I played as a bit of a comfort game because of how rough I was feeling. But then when I came back from my break, it was actually the start of some pretty good shit. So, it has a double end to that. Yeah, the long and short of that point in time was Cobra was sad, then Cobra came back and was very happy. Yes, I met a lot of... I think around that time was when I met Rouge, ironically enough. Indeed. It's nearly been a year now, buddy. It's nearly been a year. God, it feels weird to think about that. I'm trying to think now. I think it was... this time of year I had my original model, actually. Yeah, I think... oh, when did I encounter... it was Total War. I know that much. Yeah, it was Total War. It was before... it was a few streams before I did a collab. I remember this specifically because I remember this is when I asked him to be my mod. Because I was doing a Vermintide 2 collab with Onyx, Devilden, and Nyatia. And at least a few of them had bigger audiences than me at the time. So I wanted a mod because I thought, well, okay, I might be hosting this, so I said to him, hey, would you be okay being the mod? At least for the stream. He's like, sure. And then he just kind of said, yeah, it just kept being the mod. And so, there you go. Thus, how Rouge was mod. Indeedly. I think this is back in the ancient times when Kobold used to do morning streams. As nice as an idea that was, waking up and rolling out of bed and doing a stream was perhaps not the best idea. I probably should have done them a little later. But then the evening ones just worked out. Do you consider that? And they're advertising the darkness. And they only have the darkness 2 on stream. Yeah, that's a bit fucky. Are they ever going to You know what? There's a game that needs a remaster. The original Darkness. Fucking remaster that, please. Now you might ask, why does it need a remaster? The controls are abominable. Seriously, that's like the only problem with that game. It uses an old fucked up system of like auto aim. That's actual cancer. So, if they could change that out for something more normal. Oh, also it's old, yeah. It's an ancient game. I mean, they're doing The Witcher 1 remastered and The Witcher 3 engine, so, you know. Yeah, well, the Darkness 1, you had different Darklings, which are the little, like, monkey little creatures. But you also had the 2, like, tentacles with the bows on the end. Also the really deep, crackly voice. Yeah, they're redoing I'm looking forward to that, actually. Is it bad to say? I'm kind of looking forward to the Witcher 1 getting remastered more than Witcher 4. Maybe it's just me. But... because I think if I do have Witcher 3, but I've never played it. I kind of want to start Witcher from the beginning. To be honest. I kind of would like to start Witcher from the beginning. Witcher 2 doesn't need a remaster. Witcher 2 looks fantastic. And Witcher 3 obviously is fucking gorgeous. Don't worry. Me too. I was expecting Witcher 4, wasn't expecting Witcher 1 remaster. Exactly. I'm also kind of curious to see how Witcher 4 goes, because there's a lot of different verdicts on how that looks like it might go. So, I want to kind of wait and see how that goes. Speaking of games I hope are good, but I'm a bit worried about, have you guys seen that Ghosts of Tsushima's getting a sequel? They're doing a Ghosts of... I forget where it's... because I don't know Japanese names very well, but it's somewhere else actually in Japan. I think rather than an island. Yeah, Ghosts of... Yoteli? Yotel? Yota? Is it Ghosts of Yota? Yotai? I think Yotai. I'm going to say Yotai. Yeah, we're going to go with Yotai. I'm a funny British man. I can't pronounce anything that's non-British. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at it. Yotai, there we go. Yeah. So, Ghost of Yotai. Honestly, Tsushima is a hard one sometimes for me. I keep trying to pronounce the T and I'm like, no, it's Tsushima. It's silent. But Ghost of Tsushima, I fucking loved Ghosts when it came out on PC. Holy shit, that game's gorgeous, by the way. I should have played it on stream, but I didn't. But, holy... I recommend Ghost of Tsushima. Holy chat. That game's beautiful. It's like the best... Like, I'm sorry, you do not need Assassin's Creed Shadows. Fuck that shitty fucking excuse for a Skinwalker. Ghosts is way better. Yeah, wait for the summer sale, pick up Ghosts. Seriously, don't buy Assassin's Creed Shadows, that thing looks shit. I'm trying to fucking pawn off the slicing mechanics like it's a new thing. Like, fucking Metal Gear Rise didn't do it 10 years ago, and better. Ugh. I dislike so much about that game. Just from looking at it. Just... The thing that bothers me the most is it doesn't feel like my main issue with Assassin's Creed Shadows is the Assassin's Creed label. I hate the fact that Assassin's Creed has become this, like... It's not Assassin's Creed. It's like this weird RPG set in a historical-ish point of view. Ish, because of some fucking aspects of it, like just certain characters being very different to the historical versions, or just a lot more like the old people technology as well, just flung around everywhere. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just stubborn and old, but I remember when Assassin's Creed you had to try and be stealthy, and you know, going loud was like a last ditch thing you did, because you know, you didn't really want to go loud because it was just too much heat. Obviously it got easier as the games went on, but like Assassin's Creed 2, you didn't want to go loud. Except if you had the gun. That was a big change. But Brotherhood? Oh, Brotherhood, my beloved. Brotherhood was so fucking good. Even Revelations. I actually liked Revelations a lot. The custom bombs. I wish Assassin's Creed 1 was remastered so I could play the Altair. It seemed fun. I didn't mind Assassin's Creed 3. I loved Assassin's Creed 4. And Assassin's Creed Rogue. Origins was okay. I liked Bayek, the main character. I thought he was cool. I also liked how there was lots of references to the series' beginnings. And like nods at Assassin's Creed 2's statues. Oh, and also the whole like having your ring finger cut off because like the hidden blade. That shit. I think the last one was Valhalla. I've not played it, I'll be honest. Or Odyssey. My friend JD Moss has played both of those. He liked them. But then he did say to me he liked them for RPGs, not because they were Assassin's Creed. And I'll always say to me, they stopped being Assassin's Creed. Because, I don't know, just the way you play them is so different. Like, enemies have levels, and it was, like, I don't know, it was less about using your tools and sneaking up on them and stabbing them in the back to get an easy kill. It was about levels. That's the thing. I wouldn't have minded, right, if Assassin's Creed Shadows, Valhalla, and Odyssey were not Assassin's Creed games, but their own thing, I would be a lot more favourable to them. I would. Because then at least it's not trying to skinwalk as Assassin's Creed. It'd be like if Witcher came out and you didn't play as a Witcher and you didn't hunt monsters. That's kind of how it feels to me. Like, it's still got mechanics, it's still got some depth, but it's not got the same feel. Like that feel of stalking a target through a crowd using eagle vision and stuff. It'd be like the story from Borderlands. Yeah. Yeah, like I have nothing against Odyssey or Valhalla. Origins still, it's in their style, but it still felt like Assassin's Creed. It was very heavy on the lore, like establishing the idea of the assassins in the first place. Maybe it's just me, but I was really invested in like the assassins and Templars, like centuries-long rivalry, like a millennia of rivalry between the two. I don't know. I mean, hell, I've got a fucking Abstergo t-shirt, by the way. I unironically own an Abstergo t-shirt. So, you know, I love Assassin's Creed. But I just don't recognise it now. Mirage is a little closer, but I've not played. I own it, but I've never played it. I need to get it again because, and Rouge was there for this. My Ubisoft account did a weird fucky and it tried to switch which account I was using, which was very annoying when trying to play For Honor. Which, as much as I get angry at it, and I do get angry at it, I do rate For Honor, by the way. I do rate For Honor. It's a very unique game. It's a very unique kind of fighter. Yeah, exactly. Like being not being a Vault Hunter in Borderlands is weird. Like it's just always been the thing. Yeah, I didn't introduce it to you. I mean, to be fair, I also am hella rusty at it. Like I played it before we played it together. I played it like yeah, I mean, you were trying to prepare me for like the kind of shit you deal with when you play it, which is fair. It is completely fair. Like I get what you were trying to do, so you don't worry, man. I understand that. To be fair, I was trying to learn it while I was like really sick still. I do think about it, and I'm like, I went back to work at least a week too soon, and I probably tried to make myself do things a week too soon. It has got a big storage ask, yeah. That's one thing, when Monster Hunter Wilds comes out, I will uninstall World, because World asks for a lot of space too. Yeah, there's, like, it's a big boy game for Honorers. Although I got it very cheap, I will say. £3. Very cheap. But then the main sort of pull, I guess, is like the kind of like extra characters and that. That's fair. Like, I will say I don't understand how anyone plays For Honor on a fucking keyboard and mouse. That sounds like hell. That sounds like a sweet form of hell. Same with Monster Hunter, actually. I couldn't see myself playing Monster Hunter on a keyboard and mouse. Like, maybe, but I don't know. It just wouldn't feel right to me. But I play shooters on keyboard and mouse a lot. I remember seeing from his teaser gameplay. Okay. Fair. God, that was a long time. Holy shit, that was a fucking age ago. That was. My God, I don't know how you two do it. Wait, Judas, do you play Monster Hunter on keyboard and mouse? Yeah, God, the teaser. I'm trying to think back to it. My God, you two are crazy. Fair enough, honestly, fair enough, but holy shit. Well, at least Wilds is coming out on PC from day one. I am so glad they're not pulling the same crap they did with World. I've waited a fucking year. A year. Oh. But it's weird. They're not... Like, legitimately. Wait, it isn't supporting keyboard and mouse on Xbox? I thought Xbox could support keyboard and mouse now. On a side note, I haven't seen barely any advertisement for Monster Hunter Wilds. I've seen, like, recently people reacting to, like, the, video they put out about it, but holy shit. It's been, like, no advertisement. Like, I didn't know they were bringing back fucking Gormagala and Nursilla. Fucking Nursilla. I was not expecting to see the first spider of the game in that. Oh yeah, get your practice in, man. Although, I will say, Wilds... Oh, for anyone who's interested in Wilds, by the way, there's a beta on now, well, sorry, tomorrow, till Monday, and the following week, Friday till Monday. Just in case you're interested in that. They're also adding another hunt to that, I think. It's like, that guy with the bone whips is a hunt you can go on in that beta. And the very end of the month, the game comes out. Oh boy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, chat. I'm going to be playing it a lot that week. I might do a little bit of a takeover. Like I would do with Resident Evil. Although hopefully without the illness. Yeah, my dear friend dragging me to play new Siege event when that's all. Alright, no worries, man. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you for being here, buddy. Enjoy your Siege. Do make sure to find and shoot every Zoomer. They deserve it. They do deserve it. I still like that. I'm not that generation, but you know. Cobra says shoot the Zoomers. Oh, that's a good point, yeah. Yeah, Zoomers are old now. Old. Yeah, Zoomers pay taxes now. Gen Alpha, however, they deserve it. Damn. Yeah, that's the worst part, brother. Gen Z paid taxes now. Not me unironically having to like contact Patreon to be like, hey, what tax stuff do I need to fill out for you guys? How my ranked teammates sound like they're now. Oh no. Good lord. See for them. They deserve it. They deserve it. Trust me. Trust. Like on Deep Rock Galactic, when you see a scout and you're playing as a digger, you need to blow them up. It's just tradition. No worries, man. Thank you for being here, buddy. Have a good time. Oh. God. I'll fix your meme if you want to. God, unironic meme review. Meme review. See, chat, you know I haven't lost all my creativity yet. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That, oof. Ooh, that would start some shit if I went down that fucking road. Oof. Yeah, no, I have to be careful now, don't I? I can't say people are uncreative for just doing reactions to memes they've been submitted. However, it's not the most original content. We can all agree on that. It is somewhat easy content, to be honest. But you know, it is what it is. I don't judge. People like watching it. People enjoy it. I'm sure at some point I will descend into the React Andy. I'd like to hope I wouldn't, but you never know. It might happen. I don't know. Do you guys like watching reactions? I don't know. I'm very mixed on them. Morally. Maybe it's just me. I'm always very mixed on them. I always kind of think one day the bubble's going to burst and the copyright claims will come flying. Yeah, that's true. I always feel kind of like, I don't know. How would I feel if someone reacted to my video and barely did anything but got all the credit essentially for it? I don't know. I always think about that. Obviously, some people like, yeah, go for like daily dose of internet. That guy's chill as fuck. But if reactions are spread out and not done like 2-3 times a week, one below reactions. Okay. See, to be fair, actually, you know what? You're right there. You know, it's weird. As someone who knows a lot of Warhammer lore, I actually do like watching people's overviews on lore, or I like watching people discover Warhammer. I honestly find it very fascinating. Like a small little podcast I can listen to. That's fair. I named them. Brother, I got lore bits. I got lore bits for days. Trust me, there are lots of random shit I've heard and looked up over the years. Like, it's kind of concerning. It comes to something, for example, with Warhammer Fantasy, where someone unironically could point at the map and go, "What's there?" and I would have a rough idea. It's concerning. As long as it isn't like the middle of the ocean. If it's on the land, I fucking know most of it. Some of it's just desolate wasteland, admittedly, but still. Even the 40k universe is like, I have a varying it's a vast universe, but I have decent knowledge. AOS is admittedly one I don't know as much, because I must admit, Age of Sigmar's lore, it's only recently becoming more fleshed out. Though I will give them their due, they've made it a lot more interesting over the years. So I might actually commit to looking up Warhammer Age of Sigmar lore. But, a good example, I did a Mordheim campaign in Warhammer Fantasy 2nd Edition some while back, and I did it in the time period where Mordheim blew up. Oh, very young, balls, very young. Let me give you perspective here. Warhammer Fantasy is older than Warhammer 40k. Warhammer 40k is over 30 years old now. Fantasy came out before it. And Fantasy was killed off in 2013. So Age of Sigmar has existed for just over 10 years now, I think. Give or take. But it's about a third of the age. Now, you might say 30k is quite young too. However, 30k kind of cheats a bit because Horus Heresy is the backstory of 40k. So it kind of had the power of becoming... It was a legend, but then got fleshed out into a full story. Though I must admit, there are certain things they've gone back and done that have changed the meaning of some things drastically as a result. Also, some of the Primarchs went demon way earlier than you'd expect. Like, by the Siege of Terror, the ones that went demon were demons. Except for Logar, I think, and Perturabo. But most of them were demons. Like, that was a big revelation. Like, even I wasn't aware before then that they all four of the God-aligned ones were demonic. Yeah. Though I will say, one sad thing is I feel like they don't pull enough to 40k from 30k. Yeah, Perturabo's weird, right? As a mortal, he's a bit of an unhinged fucking lunatic who is just full of disdain. Here's the strange part. He's fucking mellow as shit as a demon. He legit plays like a board game with one of his sons, but it's like a really detailed board game of like Conquest, right? And only one bit does he go a little crazy, where he turns around and says to him, "Okay, you keep losing to me, so here's an idea. We're going to play one more game. If you lose, I will kill you." And then his son won. And he was like, "What did you learn?" He was like, that I need, like, he basically was like trying to teach him that, hey, when you haven't got any worries, you're going to make mistakes, but if you have your life threatened on the line, you're going to fucking try everything. Go wild of strategies you wouldn't think would work, but you're desperate. But, like, old Perturabo would never do that. Demonic Perturabo is completely kosher with it, though, for some reason. It's weird. But it's actually very interesting. A lot of the Primarchs seem to have mellowed a little bit. Didn't partly build a warp machine at for Magnus just to destroy it to prove some point. Ooh. I'm trying to think which one you're on about there. It sounds like a thing he would do, but I don't remember that particular reference, actually. He did take a lot of effort to prove points to some of his transfixed brothers. For example, he disciplined Angron. Ferrus would also be someone who would build stuff. Although Ferrus was very involved with Fulgrim, actually. They both had a real appreciation for the art of constructing weapons. Fulgrim actually really liked crafting and smithing, actually. I believe Fulgrim made a hammer for Ferrus Manus, and Ferrus made a sword for Fulgrim. Like, the two were really close, actually. It's actually like one of the saddest things in the Heresy. Because Fulgrim really wanted Ferrus to join him. He even had Fabius Bile clone him repeatedly to try and get him to join. Because Fabius could clone Primarchs. Yeah, that was the thing he did. Kinda nuts. Fabius Bile's he's a whole character. The Fabius Bile books are one of the only Black Library books I ever got. Audio version, but still. Oh, the Lear Sword fucked him so bad. The Lear Sword fucked Fulgrim in ways Fulgrim's never fucking comprehended being fucked before. That sword, to be fair, he had no idea what it was capable of. It's the one thing the Imperium didn't understand back then. Chaos. The Emperor kept a tight lid on that knowledge, and it was a bit of a problem. To be fair, I get why he did it, because the more people know about Chaos, the more powerful it can become. Like, if you know Khorne by name, it inherently makes him stronger. Because you're referencing the God of Blood by name. It's like, you're invoking his power by doing that. If you say Slaanesh, just saying Slaanesh is enough of like a spark that it might draw their notice. Same with Tzeentch and Nurgle, you know? In an Imperium that didn't know them by name, any reference to them is enough to give them an in. And obviously he wanted to eradicate faith, and thus eradicate them. So, it made sense, the secrecy, but I'll be honest, he should have told Magnus about it at least. The Thousand Sons were the most likely to be, like, corrupted by Chaos, unironically. They dealt with the warp so often, being a legion of Psykers. I'll be honest, I think Magnus should have known. Like, Magnus was very naive and arrogant. But I think the Emperor should have shown Magnus the enemy. The thing is, the Thousand Sons were very hopeful for the galaxy, right? Like, I do feel sorry for them, because the Thousand Sons, legitimately, right, they wanted to enlighten the Imperium. They wanted to, like, elevate people. Ugh, excuse me. They wanted to, like, use the power of Psykers to show people, like, because their planet was a paradise. I mean, Ahriman, yeah, he's torn up over that one. Yeah, he's a whole thing. He's a very unwilling champion of Tzeentch. But he's also one of the most powerful mortal sorcerers in the galaxy. An interesting fact about sorcery, by the way. You do not have to be a Psyker to be a sorcerer. But it does make you a fucking powerful sorcerer if you can do both. Because there's actually a difference between doing sorceries and psychic. Being a psyker innately part of your being, and you can channel it, and discipline it, how to do things. Sorcery has like spells, incantations, all that bullshit. But you can be both. Erebus is not a psyker, but he's a fucking powerful sorcerer. Also, fuck Erebus, but you know. We all hope one day Khan the Betrayer will find him and avenge Argyltal. Yes, and actually, there's a warband of them called the Forgotten Sons, I think they're called, that are in that red still. Also, I think they're called the something. There's like, I think they're like Forgotten Sons or something. There's a cult of them that use red. My Thousand Sons are painted in red, actually. I have a few Thousand Sons. I have a unit of Scarab Occult Terminators and a Infernal Master. And I'm painting them in red. A little tip for you guys, if you do want to paint Thousand Sons in that cherry red, base it in gold first. unironically, use gold spray on it first, and then use like Blood Angel red over the top. It's a really nice cherry red. There are other ways, but that's how I did it. Also, you might as well spray it gold anyway, because the amount of trim, it's just easier, trust me. Genuinely, by the way, if you paint anything Chaos Space Marine, most of them are covered in so much fucking trim, you might as well spray it metallic. Then paint in the lines, because holy shit. But, on my point earlier about not taking stuff from the Heresy, right? Like, if you could rainbow colours. I mean, it's certainly an interesting way of painting them, but hey, fair. But, the Thousand Suns have got, like, all kinds of interesting units in the Heresy. Each unit has its own colour. Interesting. Was like each model or like each, like, squad? The Flesh Tomb of the Night Lords. Oh, yes. There is, okay. Interesting. That's one way of doing it. I think I did mine like the... Ironically, speaking of Night Lords, I did mine in a brightened up Night Lords blue, actually. That Krieger model I posted. The coat is a Night Lord blue, but I think I mixed in some White Scar to it. Not White Scar, Wraithbone to it. I basically brightened up it, like, by a shade. It turned out quite nice, actually. I need to do the rest at some point. I'll get around to it eventually. But yeah, what I'll say. Yes, so the Thousand Suns, they have, like, robots, but they have, like, a unique robot that a Mechanicum Forge made for them. And the cool thing with them is they don't use Cortex controllers. They use psychic crystals that link back to the Psyker. So they can literally control them with their minds and cast spells through them. It's actually, like, pretty fucking cool. They also had Psychic Dreadnoughts, which are fucking awesome. And they also have their own, like, blade unit. Like a unit who runs around with 2 fucking Force Kobeshes. It's genuinely, like... I don't know, something I wish was in 40k. Got the rubrics, sure, but there's no rubrics of, like, twin swords running around, teleporting all over the place. And they seem to have established in Space Marine 2 the fuckers can teleport a lot. In fact, the fucking Scarab Occult Terminators can fucking bolt it across the whole bloody... The whole fucking map is insanity. Although it's weird. They're in Tartarus, I think? Whereas the Sekhmet were in Cataphracti, if memory serves. They were an interesting one. I wouldn't mind if they had, like, the Sekhmet, a, like, heavier version of their Terminators that were more like the Sekhmet. Though weirdly, they seem very averse to giving Chaos new Terminators. The Emperor's Children don't have their Phoenix Terminators brought over, but they did bring over the Palatine Blades, which I don't mind. I was worried they weren't going to be in. The Palatine Blades, for anyone who doesn't know, they're like a subgroup of the Emperor's Children that were obsessed with perfecting their arts of martial combat. They actually would even take up Xenos weaponry. Like, if they found a sword they liked, they'd take it and master it completely. It's like a weird tradition they have. Lucius the Eternal, or Lucius as he was then, was actually one of the greatest swordsmen in the galaxy. You could argue he's not that much now, but then he also can't die. Pretty much, so he doesn't have to be. I was kind of hoping they'd bring back Eidolon, actually. because they gave him a book recently. He's like Fulgrim's right-hand man, although he fucking hates Fulgrim. To be fair, if someone took your head off in a will of fancy and just went, "I'm gonna kill you now," and you survived that shit and had your head put back on, you probably wouldn't like someone either. Yeah, pretty much. What's this? This just has some random mind making. Yes, I remember that fucking. Basically, if you get any pride at all from killing him, that's it. He takes you over, and your face gets added to his armor. I don't remember if he still carries the Anaphane blade or not. Oh. No. Because he actually had the Anaphane, the weapon that nearly killed Horus, and I think Fulgrim used it to fucking slit the throat of Gilliman, actually. A while back. That's why Gilliman was out of commission for a while. It's also why he needs that armor. Yeah, he wasn't just in that fucking stasis field for nothing. Fucker was literally on life support. Yeah, the Anaphame's like is a nasty fucking dagger, that thing is. Lucius did have it for a while. I don't know why Horus gave it to Fulgrim, because he was possessed at the time. But he gave it to Lucius. His heresy model has that sword and his own sword. Whereas, I don't think he has it anymore. Could be wrong. There's like that weird tongue whip. Don't remember which book it was, but Gilliman can be out of the armor for a short time, but it has. Yes. Yes, he can get out of it. He specifically does it because he doesn't like the idea that a Xenos can control him. Because he knows the armor's technology is partly Xenos. And he hates that fact. Because people might say he wants to fuck Yvraine. I assure you he'd rather kill her. Because she's an alien. Because as much as he is still, like, very rational-minded, I assure you, most likely he'd still kill every alien in the galaxy. But he would do a lot for humanity. He's a very... I do appreciate Gilliman. I might not always find him the most interesting Primarch, but I do appreciate what he stands for. He's a very practical person. You know, he's a very... like, kind of... how should we say? He's a very, like... what with what? Yes. Although he also has the Emperor's Sword. It's the whole thing. The Lion became less of a dick, because the Lion back in 30k was an absolute insufferable dick. Although it's funny, his Legion, there's whole things where his Legion would come back to him later, because the first Legion were in high demand, and a lot of them didn't even know about Caliban. They fucking came back one day and were like, "Oh, this is where command is now." And one of them was like, "Brother, welcome to Caliban." He's like, "Cala what?" I'm like, "Yeah, Caliban. Is that why you have green on your armor?" "Yes." "Oh, okay. Well, fuck it. Nice to meet you." Like, to be fair to the Lion, though, he at least made sure the Terran elements of his army was actually, like, brought in. Do you know a Primarch I've actually come to not like very much? Mortarion. The Death Guard are cool, but I don't like Mortarion. Because he's the bitch. And what I mean by that is, he took a perfectly functional, exceptional Legion and murdered it. Because the Dusk Raiders were an incredible Legion. And very honourable, by the way. Let me put it this way. They would come to you in the day and let you off, and basically say to you, we will allow you a chance to surrender, but you must have an answer to us before dusk. Because if you left it till dusk, they'd come to you in force. They basically give you a day. At the end of that day, they'll kill you all. But they give you a day to actually surrender. And if you surrender to the Dusk Raiders, they would unironically give you all the rights that you deserve and treat you with respect and dignity. They would give you that right. If you were human. If you weren't human, you know the drill. But if you were human, they'd do that for you. The Death Guard would not. The other thing was the Dusk Raiders were heavy infantry, but also made heavy use of tanks and aircraft. Mortarion basically lobotomized his legion. You'll notice in 40k how many of the Death Guard's vehicles are actually manned. No, seriously, think about that. How much demon engines do the Death Guard have to use nowadays for their armoured firepower? A lot, right? Poxburst Crawler, demon engine. The Bloat Drones, demon engine. The Blight Drones, demon engine. The... what's it called now? The Crawler. Also a demon engine. They use so many demon engines. Because, guess what happened to all their tank drivers and all their aircraft drivers, bar like a few Barbarans who learned how to fucking do it? They were all down in Isfahan 3 and were virus bombed. Because they were all Terranborn. Mortarion was so fucking stupid, he didn't have his Barbarans learn how to use tanks. He was so obsessed with this attrition-based warfare, using heavy infantry, he never thought to actually use the armour at his possession. He lost most of his tanks and air support in Isfahan by his own actions because he killed all the veteran crews and never had his Barbarans trained. 1/3 of his entire legion, by the way, were Terranborn still. He just never listened to them, never accepted them, tried to kill them all times. And here's the thing, he was given a good legion. I would understand if it was like the Blood Angels or the Raven Guard. The Raven Guard, pre-Korax, were like the fucking Night Lords. They were either joining Horus as a scout company, or they were there to brutally put down dissidents. And I mean brutally, by the way. They were comparable to Night Lords. At least Night Lords at one point had like a... Night Lords used to have this belief that everything they did was this, like... They had to do it, right? It was a brutal thing they had to do, but they were like... It's a necessary evil. Later Night Lords just enjoyed it because they were sickos. Because their planet's a cesspit. It just is. The Strama is just a cesspit. That's why they fucking blew it up. Yeah, the Raven Guard was like, they were fucking bad. The Blood Angels were butchers before Sanguinius. Basically made them good people. Like, take all the culture, the art out from Blood Angels. Exactly, Sanguinius rizzed them all up, he seduced them. To be fair, most people would see Sanguinius and think, maybe they're a little gay. Same with Fulgrim. Many people would probably go a little gay for them too. To be fair, a lot of people also questioned why Sanguinius wasn't made the War Master, by the way. Even Horus was like, I'm not 100% sure I should have been War Master over you. Although, in fairness to Horus, he was there by the Emperor's side since, like, the earliest times. He was, allegedly, the first Primarch found. So Sanguinius, my beloved, will stay with me. Indeed. good old Sanguinius. And Sanguilara, the Christmas holiday named after him. The one day a year you get off in the Imperium. Indeed. Sanguilara. The one day a year you get off. In honour of Sanguinius. Although his death might have brought out the demons in his sons. Also, a fun fact, by the way, Khorne actually wanted Sanguinius over Angron. Yeah, he wanted Sanguinius over Angron. Because Sanguinius objectively was a stronger warrior. Angron was broken. He genuinely was. It's kind of sad, actually, Angron. Before the nails were put into his head, he actually was really good at, like... He had a very passive psychic ability to connect very deeply with people. If I remember rightly. Like, he could actually, like, feel other people's emotions just naturally, and could, like, calm them quite well. It was quite a calming influence before the nails were driven into his skull. And because they weren't meant for a Primarch, they had to fucking butcher him to do it. So they fucked him up more than anyone else. Because the nails weren't meant for Primarch's brain. That was it, yeah, he took the pain away from them, yeah. Which, I bet he fucking wished he could after. For himself, at least. But no, he mutilated his sons. Because they thought he would actually give a shit after they put the nails in their head. It's also why they have no Psykers. Well, because the Psykers set the nails off. Also, Demon Angron killed them all. But if you wanted to run like a before he turns Demon army, you could have Psykers in. Though, it'd be very rare. Librarius didn't have nails. He really hated them. See, the Warhounds were another one. They weren't bad. They were very brutal as Legion, but they weren't bad. M could have stepped in, but M didn't want Angron's sons to revere him. Dumb. Yeah. If he'd have... Thing is, right, if he'd have sent the the Warhounds at the time in to support their Primarch, they could have easily killed the High Riders and took the planet. I think the Emperor was pissed, because as far as he was concerned, Angron was a failure. I'm pretty sure he half considered just killing him. Like he did the second... No. Yeah, the 2nd Legion and the 11th Legion, he killed them off. Well, they killed their Primarchs off, and as for their legionaries, allegedly they went to the Ultramarines and Imperial Fists. Because back then, I think the Dark Angels were bigger. This was before the Rengdan genocide. They were a lot smaller after that. But yeah, no. I like the World Eaters. I must admit, I liked the World Eaters when they were more than just frothing berserkers. I know that's a lot of their character, but they had a little bit more nuance at one point. They weren't just frothing berserkers. Like, all their troops had the nails in, right? But you could still field tanks, heavy support units. It was fully viable to do that. Jump assault infantry. Frothing berserkers does get quite boring. That's the thing. It's what annoys me. Khorne isn't just frothing berserkers. Now, yes, many devotees of Khorne lose their minds. Go feral, right? Because Khorne doesn't care. He has completely no empathy for his worshippers. His gifts are just... If anything, I feel like Khorne just leaves his power dangling, and if someone's strong enough to take it, they take it. But otherwise, he doesn't actually give a shit about his champions. If they become a demon prince, I'm pretty sure it's more he looks at them as they're bloating and goes, "You're good enough," and lets them pass. Because it does require a god's intervention. Princehood does. But I think with Khorne, it's very much... they're good enough. Like, he doesn't care. Nurgle doesn't care much, but he cares more. He might give you a gift. Khorne doesn't give you a gift. You had to earn that shit. But I do wish... There's a piece of art, right, from Warhammer Fantasy. And Fantasy, I think, does Khorne better sometimes. Older Fantasy does, especially. Like, I'm not saying Khorne's always honourable. However, there used to be a whole thing about a Khorne worshipper wouldn't kill people without a weapon as often. Because it was just boring. There was no challenge in that. Like, okay, you killed a random peasant. Great. Whoop-de-fucking-do. What's the blood god gonna give you there? That skull wasn't worth anything. Ah, no worries, man. No worries. You rest up. Hopefully that fever gets a bit better. With that rouge. You rest well, my friend. But yeah, no, the old Khorne, it was like very... Yeah, no worries, man. My pleasure. My pleasure. Ugh, excuse me. The old Khorne was very... What you killed mattered more. And there's an old bit of art of like a Chaos Lord of Khorne on a Juggernaut. And he's just... It sounds simple, right? But he's just sitting on his mount, axe held down. Surrounded by people like watching him, but staying out of his way. It's like... There's that like air of contained rage, right? Like, you know this guy is capable of utter violence. Like, Doomslayer level violence, right? He's fully capable of that. But he doesn't engage in it. Because there's not time yet. It's controlled anger. An interesting new bit of lore that I didn't know until recently. Apparently the 8-bound are released from the nails. I didn't know this. But apparently the 8-bound are not affected by the butcher's nails anymore. Their mind's clear. Which I didn't think that would be the case, because... I mean... They've absorbed 8 blood letters into their soul. And either have them continuously fighting, or have conquered them. The Exalted Ones have conquered them. But it's like, okay... So you're telling me 8 demons of Khorne somehow balances out the nails? That's wild to me. I mean, I guess it makes sense. They're no longer a fully physical being, so maybe the nails just don't affect them anymore, but it's just... It's weird, right? Because the Butcher's nails, they're this, like, Dark Age technology. They're horrible things, right? The entire point of the nails is they dig and sliver around in your brain and get you in agony unless you lose your temper and go, like, berserk rage. And then the pain stops. But the way it's kind of depicted, like, they always have to be like that. It's like, no, actually. There's a apothecary in the Fabius Spile books, right? He's a world eater. But he uses drugs to numb the nails. He literally can just act normal. The nails don't bother him. He literally has a cocktail of drugs that keep him steady. So there are ways that you can thwart the nails. But for some reason G-Dubs just doesn't show that? I don't know, it's weird. It's weird, I don't quite get it, but it is what it is, as they say. But hey, excuse me. But you know, hopefully, hopefully, like the whole 8-bound thing is like a sign that maybe we might get a bit more nuance for Khorne. Like, they mention one of those sub-factions, I think Gladiator Cadre 33-1 or something like that. They use, like, ranged weapons more, and will, you know, try and like pick people off more, like, and take less casualties. And it's like, okay, that's a start. Like, don't get me wrong. I want to make this clear. Khorne Berserkers are cool as shit. Don't get me twisted, by the way. I fucking love them. Right, like, they are cool as fuck. They are metal as fuck. I love them. But I just wish there was a good example, okay. The Emperor's Children. I was so happy their release wasn't just Noise Marines as the base unit. Because, like, Death Guard, Plague Marines are the baseline. Okay, fine. Makes sense. Thousand Suns, the Rubrics are the baseline. Fine. World Eaters, the Berserkers are a big part of them, but I feel like I'm almost certain there's more than just the Berserkers. Like, the Khorne Berserkers are one aspect, but there are definitely World Eaters that are, like, a bit more brain to them. But we'll see if they actually add those. Because at least in the Heresy, it was just the Red Butchers that were the really psycho ones, but they were given Terminator armor, partly to protect them, partly so they could turn it off and just basically keep them locked up in there, chained up. Because when the armor's turned off, they can't move. They just dangle from chains like a loony. Literally, they're just a lunatic. They just unleash. Them fuckers are feral. I don't mind them being feral because they were like the one thing. I don't know. I just think maybe something that, like with the Emperor's Children, they have two battle line units. One are like, they basically both want to be perfectionists in a form of combat, being a Space Marine. They want to be like the perfect Marines. One is like a perfect tactical Marine, master of like mid-range combat. One is like an expert in melee. Not quite to the extent that the Palatine Blades are. Them guys got juiced by demons, but they use combat stims and stuff to like run faster on the map and have insane reflexes. And quite importantly, they actually have armor that looks like they came from the Heresy. Like Mark 6 armor. It shows. It's a small detail, but I appreciate it when they make Chaos look like they're from the Heresy. Like, is why I appreciate the Death Guard. They're all in Mark 3. They're all in Mark 3, and they use Cataphracti pattern Terminator armor. Which makes sense. It's a small detail, but I'm a massive fucking nerd, and I love that shit. I could go on. I at least the Berserkers, I understand their armor's fucked because they fight so much. Again, I do wish there was a few more, like how the Space Wolves have the long fangs, you know, they have like, Space Wolves are fucking space Vikings, yes, but they have the long fangs as like their devastators, you know, heavy support guys. A few of them for the World Eaters wouldn't hurt. Just some guys who are more restrained. They probably have the nails, most of them do. But maybe, I don't know, the Butcher Surgeons keep them drugged up a bit so they're actually more usable in combat. I was kind of hoping they at least had like a demon engine that was more shooty to make up for their need to fight constantly, so the whole objectives. The Jackals are okay, but I mean, like the Zangors, right? You kind of want more Marines. As nice as have cultists, I think the Emperor's Children proved you don't need them. They sure as hell didn't. They could have had some weird Slanesh cultists, but they didn't. They might get them later. But personally, they get the Phoenix Terminators first. Mostly because I really want to see what happens to them. But we have got new Noise Marines, which is good. We have new Noise Marines. They have a lot of elite stuff. But then the Emperor's Children are very elite. They're perfect. Like, these are obsessive perfectionists. They're also, like, really fucked up people, by the way. Like, the Night Lords, the Emperor's Children consider the Night Lords to be very greenhorn when it comes to debauchery. Like, skinning? Nah, that's weak shit. That's vanilla. Put it this way, think of the weirdest shit you've looked at on a hentai website or a porn website. I promise you, that's vanilla to an Emperor's Children. That's vanilla. They have some obscure shit. And a lot of drugs. They love combat stims, by the way. Also, Fabius Bile might have acquired and gave them a fuck ton of pure gene seed. Which is very worrying for everyone else because that shit will make a lot of Marines. Because that's normally the problem with Chaos Marines. The gene seed. Because it mutates. You can't pull it out of them. But he's just gone and got a bunch of fresh stuff from Trazen. And made some juiced up Marines from him. Which is very concerning. Not for us though, because it means new models, but it's very exciting for the galaxy. But what we have seen from them looks very good, I will say. And probably convertible to 30k actually, especially later on Heresy. You definitely could go like Siege of Terror, you could defo do a lot of those units. Noise Marines are basically Cacophony. The Lord basically looks like at the times Emperor's Children. Maybe give him like the weird mask face, the black eyes, you know, gaunt face. Because they do a lot of body modifications as well back in the day. Eidolon could open his mouth like a snake and scream to the point where it actually damaged retinas and stuff. You know, the Noise Marines were sort of early established then. Although their weapons were like repurposed instruments that were accidentally created. Yeah, they're a whole thing. They're like a subgroup of the Legion. Not like they aren't the Legion. I'm glad they did that. It sounds weird, but with Slaanesh, Games Workshop are more tame. Because if they go overkill with Slaanesh, yeah, it gets a bit risky for a wider audience. So you go tame with them. But that's a good thing, because I think Chaos needs a little bit of tonal shift. A good example of this, the latest Death Guard character they released, he is very... well, he's not as over-designed as the rest of Death Guard, and that kind of works for him. A bit of a less is more approach, and I kind of wish they do that more. Like, I mean, a good example, they nail it with Age of Sigmar a lot. They really do nail the design stuff. The recent skeletons, I've ranted about them constantly. I'm sure you're sick of hearing about them. But I love them. I love the Barrow Guard, I love the Barrow Knights. I love the White Lord. They're all cool. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I'd happily pick them up. Death Corps of Krieg, again, perfect. Like, some people have a bit of a question on the engineers. The horses being a bit big, but I like them. I like the horses being meaty anyway. I think they should be meaty. They're described meaty, so they should be meaty. They're not Rough Riders. They're Death Riders. Rough Riders use normal horses. Normal by, you know, that planet standards. Death Riders use their fucking crazy steeds. Although I do wish their Grenadiers were sort of thing, but I get it. They'd be overlapping with other stuff. Plus, their engineers kind of look like Grenadiers now. They've got the skull mask, they've got the they've got shotguns, not shotguns, but they've got the heavier armor. Although I'd be tempted to convert some and run them as like Carskin or something. Should be able to do that. That'd be a fairly easy conversion. Hell, there's actually a bit site I found that does lots of Death Corps bits. So, tempting. If I ever went full army route. Big old fat if, of course. Ugh. Right, I feel like I've chewed your ears off enough as it is, though, chat. It is getting a little later on, and I am a very EP boy. I am an EP angel. requires my beauty sleep and to rest my voice. As you can probably hear, it's getting more shredded. But I think we had a good stream today. I'm sure you'll agree. Tomorrow, some Total War time. So, to all of you watching, and all of you that have been watching today, thank you very much, everybody. As always, it is my pleasure to have you all, my dearest community. And I wish you all a very good night. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and hopefully, I will have made sure I have a video ready for next week. And as soon as I have that designed, you will see it on Discord. So make sure you're in the Discord if you want to see that. So I won't be posting it to everyone else later until the actual model's made. Which will be a while away. So, but anyways, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Until then, ta-ta for now.